can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Really?
And put hands on you, give you real black eyes. Come on, don't do that. And that's the truth. I've had about enough of your shit.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said there's nothing
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he a comedian.
You know you've really messed up when Ice Cube, yes. The same man who wrote No Vaseline takes a break from his billionaire moves, just to throw shade at you. But Aries Spears didn't just throw shots at Cube, he came for the man's entire legacy. On Big Boy's Neighborhood, Aries straight up said Cube was trash not just as a rapper, but as an actor too. Cube wasn't about to let that slide, he clapped back, calling Aries irrelevant, not funny, and not even close to making the top 10 in black comedy. Then, of course, 50 Cent caught wind of it, and you already know how that goes. If there's one thing 50 Cent lives for, it's roasting someone who's already down bad. What started off as just another relaxed segment turned left real quick. Big Boy was just having one of those usual barbershop-style combos ranking rappers debating lists. Nothing too deep. But Aries Spears, being Aries, went completely off script the second Ice Cube's name came up. Aries didn't hesitate. He made it clear that he wasn't a fan. And it wasn't even in a playful way, it was straight disrespect, and honestly, the moment he said it, folks online knew this wasn't going to end quietly.
Ice Cube is a motherfucking lyricist.
I can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Really?
He's the same.
How much time we got left here? Because should I just tell him to leave now? Or?
And it didn't stop there. What he said earlier was just the warm-up. Aries Spears kept going and took aim at Today Was a Good Day, one of the most legendary West Coast tracks in hip-hop history. He completely dismissed the song like it wasn't a cultural staple, downplaying its impact and basically throwing decades of love for the track out the window. Fans were quick to react, and that's when things really started heating up online.
You don't think that one of the songs I hate the most, if it comes on, I want to shoot the radio. Today was a good day.
Then Big Boy's co-host tried to laugh it off and steer the conversation in a lighter direction. But Aries wasn't backing down. He doubled down on the slander and went into the strange impersonation of Ice Cube as a gynecologist. What started as a joke turned cringy fast. And by the time he dropped the punchline, if you can even call it that, the whole room fell silent. It was one of those moments where you could feel the secondhand embarrassment through the screen.
Chuck did a great joke. He goes, here's Ice Cube as a gynecologist. Hey, Miss Jenkins, I looked at your chart. Now get up on that thing.
That's racist. I don't know how it's racist, but what you just did is racist.
Aries laughed like he just delivered the joke of the year. But nobody else cracked a smile. The room was stiff. And it was clear this wasn't just playful roasting, it was Aries Spears completely crossing the line. The co-hosts looked uncomfortable. Big Boy attempted to steer things back on track, but Aries kept doubling down like he had something to prove, and just when folks thought he'd let it go, he took it a step further and threw shade at Tupac. Yeah, Aries really went there.
He was not the greatest lyricist. He was energy. He was passion. He made you feel him. If that said, tear the club up, you want to tear the club up. Dear mama, you wanted to hug your mama. When you think about lyricism, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Jadakiss, my lyrics, spitter.
He wasn't just throwing jabs, he disrespected the entire West Coast. And that's the fastest way to get yourself blackballed out here. What made it even crazier is that Aries knew exactly what he was doing. This wasn't some off-the-cuff slip, it was fully intentional. At one point, he looked straight into the camera and said,
watch the comments. Now, when people talk about, you ask anybody, no matter where their region, you know, give me a top 5 rappers. Pac's usually always in that list. Right. I don't ever put Pac up there with the top.
The backlash came quickly. One fan said, I love Aries' talent, but the Ice Cube slander, that's a no-go. Another added, this is why Aries has no credibility talking about Pac or Cube's lyrical ability. He's just bitter that New York lost its grip when the West Coast took over in the 80s and 90s. Normally, when someone like Aries throws shade, the legends don't even bother responding. They usually brush it off and keep it moving. But not this time. Ice Cube responded like a true OG. He didn't just clap back, he questioned Aries' entire place in the game, asking if he was even funny, even relevant, or if he ever really mattered in black comedy at all.
I saw a comedian speaking kind of bad about you, man.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said there's nothing
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he...
Ice Cube didn't just defend himself, he dismissed Aries Spears' whole career. He didn't bother trading insults. He went straight for the jugular by questioning Aries' entire legacy. It wasn't about one comment or a single diss. Cube basically said Aries isn't even in the conversation when it comes to comedy. Legends.
Hear what he said?
What'd he say?
He said it was nothing about you impresses him. From movies to rapping, nothing at all impresses him. I'm like, wow, like what?
Suckers usually don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you know, they usually don't like me when they coming from that angle. That's cool though. You know, everybody got their opinion, and they all stink. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's cool. You know, he entitled to his opinion. It's the feeling is mutual. You know, I don't think he on anybody's list of top 10 comedians. You know what I mean? In the black community for sure. I don't even know if he's on the register with us.
Cube knew exactly what he was doing, and he's no rookie to this game. He's been solid from day one, whether it was writing for NWA, dropping one of the greatest diss tracks ever, producing classics like Friday, or building the Big Three League from the ground up. Ice Cube's resume speaks for itself, but that viral clip wasn't the end of it. Aries Spears, even after getting roasted by legends and dragged by fans online, still pulled up on Vlad TV and doubled down on everything he said.
You had some words about Ice Cube recently.
You know, Willie D called me.
Okay.
I was in Louisville, Kentucky. And this, I love Willie D, that's my man. But this called me like I disrespected his mama. He was like, Aries, man, you don't understand what Ice Cube done did for the culture, man, and hip hop. Why you say? And I go, Willie, it's a subjective opinion. I'm allowed to not like Ice Cube. I know, man.
Apparently, taking one jab at Cube wasn't enough for Aries.
Like anything Ice Cube's done?
Nothing. Ice Cube does nothing for me as a rapper and an actor.
Okay.
Nothing.
Let's start with the rap. The Police, you don't think that's a classic song?
It's classic because of what it represents in terms of black struggle symbolism and what black people have gone through with the police historically. It's the song that makes you go, yeah! Yeah, I get how it can touch your emotions, but it don't do nothing for me.
But what Aries didn't realize is that this had already gone beyond Ice Cube. Somewhere in a luxury suite, probably scrolling through the clips on his phone, 50 Cent was watching it all unfold. And things only got spicier once Aries decided to take shots at him too.
What do you think about 50 Cent's acting ability overall?
This is what I think about it. He did a movie with Sylvester Stallone where it was about them in these prisons that were like cubes. The one, you know what I mean? And he played a computer tech. You know what separated 50 Cent from 50 Cent the rapper to the computer tech actor?
Glasses?
Now I'm a computer tech.
Then, just when everyone assumed 50 would let it slide, he did what he always does, he fired back in his own way. He posted a video that didn't name names, but the shade was crystal clear. It was pure 50 subtle, petty, and hilarious. Just him calling somebody delusional without ever saying who. But fans instantly knew who the target was.
Hey, man. You gotta listen to this.
But here's the thing, why did 50 even step into this mess? Because let's be honest, 50 stays booked and busy between producing shows like Power and BMF, running his liquor empire, locking in TV deals, and staying on tour. Petty drama shouldn't even be on his radar. But this wasn't just internet. Noises hit close. What people forget is that 50 and Ice Cube have had mutual respect for years. Cube was one of the first Hollywood OGs to co-sign 50's film career before anyone else believed in it. And in return, 50's always gave Cube his flowers in interviews.
Ice Cube was on when I'm just watching. Music, all of it.
Movies, all of it.
Yeah. I never really seen Ice Cube in films that weren't his. You know, like he kind of produced the vehicle that he was in. And it wasn't like he was just being an actor in someone else's film.
Aries is exactly the kind of comedian 50 Cent can't stand: loud, abrasive, and stuck in the past with nothing recent to show for it. That's the kind of energy 50 loves to flame, and flame he did. He pulled up with bars like, check my temperature, I'm ice cold, the hood on the left side of my chest froze, Then he threw in that slick jab. Need help with your bills? I'll write you a referral-ish. Might even get you a love contract. That's when Aries really started to feel the heat. Feeling cornered, he jumped on another rant. This time going even harder at Ice Cube in what came off as a full-blown emotional meltdown.
I'm the poster child for the world's biggest hater. If you look up the word hate, it's my picture. When did we get to a point where unless your opinion, and last time I checked as human beings, we're all allowed to opinions. At what point does it get to where unless your opinion is favorable about a person or a thing and goes with the flow of everyone else, you're a hater? I don't understand that.
And he didn't stop there. You could tell Cube's response cut deep because Aries kept going.
Somebody sent me a clip where Ice Cube responded. He was on a radio show and the dude played him the snippet. And the first thing Ice Cube says is, well, most suckers don't like me. Then he goes on to say, I never heard of this dude. Then he finishes by saying, well, he's just not funny. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you don't know who I am, how do you know if I'm funny or not? So you can't have it both ways.
It only got messier from there because that's when Aries Spears completely unrave. Led his own argument. In the very same breath he was using to throw shade, he suddenly switched up and said he actually respects Ice Cube as a man.
And for the record, I respect Ice Cube, the man. I respect Ice Cube in terms of what he's brought to the game. He's one of the pioneers, so hats off to him.
It only got messier from there, because that's when Aries Spears completely collapsed his own argument. In one breath, he claimed he respected Ice Cube as a man, and in the next, he turned around and said Cube has never done anything impressive in his entire career. Like, how do you say you respect someone and then dismiss their entire legacy in the same sentence? It was bitter and confusing. Fans saw right through it and called him out for trying to backpedal while still throwing shade. By that point, Aries had already burned the bridge and tried to act like he didn't light the match.
Said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. I never attacked him as a man. I never attacked him in terms of his character. I said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. Why am I not allowed to feel that way? Why is that? And then secondly, it's always funny, people call me a hater because they love to highlight when I say I don't like something as though I don't have love for anything.
That's not just an opinion, that's a full contradiction. And that's why people weren't just mad at Aries Spears for having a bold take. They were dragging him for flip-flopping and acting like a victim once the backlash started. One person commented, "You can't throw shots and be surprised when someone fires back with the same energy." Another said, "Have your opinion, sure, but after that skit, nah, you're not valid." Ice Cube is a made man, but the drag that really hit home was the one that reminded him of his dark past. That's when this beef stopped being just entertainment. Let's rewind to the Tiffany Haddish lawsuit back in 2022. Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish were slapped with a disturbing lawsuit centered on allegations of grooming. The controversy came from an old comedy sketch that resurfaced, one where a child was left alone with a predatory adult character played by Aries. The way the camera lingered on the kid, paired with the disturbing tone of the whole skit, made everyone uncomfortable. What was supposed to be satire felt way too real, and it sparked outrage online, even though the lawsuit was later dismissed. The internet didn't forget, so when Aries started throwing shade at legends like Ice Cube, people were quick to bring that skeleton back out the closet.
Did you call me?
Oh yes, Uncle Pete. Can you watch TJ for me? I need to run to the I gotta run some air. I need to go to cleaners, and I should be coming back. Okay?
All right, baby.
Thank you.
And it got into a bad situation after that. The backlash was immediate. Twitter lit up, and even the Shade Room posted the footage. It wasn't a good look. Despite the case eventually being settled and the video removed from the internet, the damage to Aries' reputation stuck. That kind of controversy doesn't just disappear, especially when it involves children. And what did Aries do in response? Instead of laying low, he went right back to Vlad TV. Like nothing ever happened. It was as if he thought doubling down would fix things, but all it did was remind people of the mess he was already in.
You and Tiffany still good?
Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't hold anything against you in terms of...
I mean, you know, she
participated in the whole thing, so it's not like she could, but I'm just saying, you know how people get.
Yeah, we good. We good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there gonna be a point where you could talk about this?
You know, I told you when that point comes, you know, you gonna.
People started noticing that Aries Spears was popping up on Vlad TV more often than Vlad himself, constantly venting about being blackballed and going on rants about how he should be on Kevin Hart's level. It became a routine, and fans caught on quickly. Aries was doing more talking than actual work. His name wasn't in the spotlight for new comedy specials or acting gigs. It was always tied to beefs, drama, or resurfaced controversies. He was chasing attention, not success, and beyond the interviews and rants, there's a pattern. Multiple former castmates have spoken out, saying Aries was hard to work with, let his ego take over, and always tried to outshine everyone around him.
Your equation will never be satisfied. Why? Because some other motherfucker will come along that'll take and blow the world up, and you'll want to be that. And then some other motherfucker will come around and have as talented as you, or possibly more, and then you're gonna get upset because again, you focus on everything that is not you.
Hold up.
Everything you want,
wait a minute,
but not what's in your present space.
Aries Spears is undeniably talented. His impressions hit, and he can command a crowd. But the truth is, he never had his Chappelle moment. That kind of missed opportunity can breed bitterness. Now, let's flip the lens. Why did this whole beef fall flat? For Aries, because coming for Ice Cube means taking shots at a cultural cornerstone. Cube isn't just a rapper, he's a movement. No Vaseline is ranked in the top 3 diss tracks of all time. Friday redefined black comedy and gave us characters that are now part of the culture. The Big 3 League, a full-blown basketball organization, started from scratch and now co-signed by NBA royalty. And way before all that, Ice Cube was ghostwriting for Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and MC Ren while still a teenager. Aries, his most known work is Mad TV impressions and a few solid stand-up sets. So when he disrespected Cube on a podcast and tried to go viral off controversy, it backfired. Fans didn't hesitate, they sided with Cube instantly. And here's the kicker. Cube dropped a teaser cast list for the long-anticipated Final Friday movie, and Aries Spears was nowhere to be found. That might not sound like a big deal, but fans clocked the timing and took it as a direct message. Aries can do all the impersonations in the world, but he won't be getting cast where it counts. In the end, Aries got what he wanted. He went viral, but not for his comedy, not for his talent. He's trending because the cultural giants Ice Cube and 50 Cent brushed him off like dust. And for once, the internet didn't argue.